I
said
wouldn't
I'm
let
hitting
him
live.
talk.
I'm hitting live. Loser.
What happened?
Mad.
Go
I
ahead,
want the
Jack.
story.
You could tell it. I don't care.
I
I was a
all I
dick.
wanted to say was the refs messed up the clock at the end of the game. It was a misapplication of the rules, and by the definition of the rule book, the Celtics could probably protest it and get 0.5 seconds left, but it's not worth it. But Sam,
Well, they're not going to win the protest. We saw what happened to the Knicks.
No, I think they would win this protest though, because the difference is the Knicks was the refs messed up a call. This one was they literally got the rule wrong. So I think that's where they would have a better chance, because like it's one thing for the ref just to miss a judgment call. It's the other for them to like literally mess up the definition of the rule. Regardless, that's all I wanted to say. But Sam thought I was gonna say, like, I don't even know what you thought I was gonna say. You thought I was gonna say
any of the things I saw on Twitter last night that I was having none of.
And so instead of letting me say that, Sam just say they get screwed. Just say it. They don't deserve that. And he wouldn't let me talk, so I just left the room and then refused to talk about the refs with him because
So
he
it's
was
like last
screaming
year's
at me.
playoff game all over again.
Yes, literally. And
We're
so
good for 1 a year.
I wouldn't let him. I just
tradition unlike any other.
So I came back in the room and he goes, "Fine, you say whatever you want to say." No, I'm not talking about it with you. And I just moved on and I inserted a clip of myself talking about it into the show.
That's hilarious. Well played, Editor Jack.
Editor Jack.
We're here.
I just think
Hello,
that
John.
the idea of the protest is officially a hollow gesture. They're not granting it for almost anything.
Well, that's my thing. Like the last time they granted it was when the refs had Shaq foul out.
Yeah.
When he didn't foul out, because that was a misapplication of the rules, and that is
I think
what
it's
happened last
extreme
night.
enough. I don't
on a
think
minute
they would do
scale
it for this. Would be my guess.
I don't think the Celtics even would want to, because it's not worth flying to Cleveland for 0.5 seconds. But I think this has a better case than the Knicks thing.
Sure. I think there's also probably almost like there's tiers that they put, okay, it was an official related mistake, like they misapplied the rules. I think they put it into different categories, basically. And so it's not if it falls into that bucket, we're automatically going to grant the protest and replay it. This one, they probably look at it as like, no, we're not coming back for 0.5 seconds.
Agree.
Is there a king spite in the NBA? Like, I feel like it's not his call, but this is definitely something Joe would be like, I'm going to prove a point. I tried to call a timeout. They didn't give me a timeout. Then they don't put time back on the clock. There's definitely a little window just to be like, yeah, out of spite. It's like when he challenges up like 30.
It's true.
I'm not saying be soft or anything like that, but the last thing you want is to go into the playoffs with the league or the officials having a vendetta against you.
That is a fact.
Yeah, it's funny. Hello, Michael. That's okay. Everyone was mad last night. It's all right. How we doing?
Outburst on Twitter. What did you say? I don't even remember. Did he?
I saw it.
He
and
replied
I forgot
to me or something, but I don't think I thought it was outrageous.
I saw he said something to me and I forgot to reply to it because we like jumped into record. Let me see if I can find it quick. He said, let me see if I can find it. He replied to you. He said they shouldn't have called a foul. KP's putback would have counted. I don't care about the blown lead. Celtics technically should have won. They were robbed. Also, KP's putback wouldn't have counted. He didn't have enough time. I'll say it.
Yeah.
I'll say it because no one else will. There wasn't enough time on the clock because they stopped it. And I can pull up the clip to show you all.
Everyone stops but him. I also, the time point is valid, Jack. I'm not disputing that. I also think that if there wasn't a whistle, he still scores on that. If we're just looking at does he score or not, there's not really anyone in the way. Like I don't think Karis LeVert is doing anything.
No, but I don't think he.
I agree with the
time would have run out. Yeah, I think
that.
time would have run out. So I don't think his basket would have counted regardless. And I can try to find a clip to show y'all.
Yeah,
pull it up.
The annoying part is the clip isn't on NBA.com, so I have to like search Twitter.
Of course, it's not. They want it wiped from the internet.
Unless they added it.
So NBC Sports Boston might have a clip of a Tatum interview that includes that play.
Let me see if NBA.com added it first. Because I know it was
I think
up last
Bleacher
night.
Report has it. Let me look for you too. I'll see if I can send you.
There's just no. It's very annoying that there's no video. Actually, I think Noah posted it. That's where I saw it last night. Of course. Why am I even questioning who posted the video?
I I don't know if this is the full thing. It's just a slow
Yeah,
motion of
no,
Tatum
Noah
shooting.
posted it. Noah posted it.
Okay.
I'm just, of course you did.
Yep.
Let me, yeah, right. Let me do something quick, and then I'll bring it up.
Yeah, they don't show the Porzingis put back on this replay on TV.
Here, somebody's gonna be off the screen briefly, but then it's just for the sake of.
Oh no!
I know.
I'll
It's
see you
just for
guys
the sake.
later.
It's just for the sake of bringing
I'll
us
be
all on
back
the screen.
Friday.
Hold. Let's see. Camera spot. There he is. He'll be back in a second. I'm doing something. Okay.
wait, I'm doing something.
Wait. Here we go. Put that there. That there. Okay. There we go. And now wait. Now ready. There we go. See?
Oh, we all made
Look
it.
at that. There. Now see, I'm doing something. Okay. So this is I know, Chad. I promise. And now the chat's just gonna cover our face. It's fine. Sorry. But so this is my point. Ready?
I'll
3
be
seconds
back on
left on the
Friday,
clock. 3 seconds left on the clock here. Tatum shoots it. So if they don't call this foul, that time runs out. This ball does not get to Porzingis in 0.7 seconds for him to do that. You know,
Yeah, because
you know
it hit
what
the
I'm saying?
rim.
Yeah.
So like he just wouldn't have had time to get this tip in off. So like I get that he was there open, but even if they didn't call the foul and it just played, there's that. So
it would have been close though. I don't think it's he had no chance. I think it's most likely he doesn't.
I just
It's
don't
tough
like
because the ball hits the rim a second
Right.
time and he can't touch it till it comes off because it would have been interference.
this is my thing. Like I don't think it's that close. Let me see. Ready? Look at this. Ready? Like it's an extra second off the clock. I don't know. My point is, I think the people who are saying they were robbed because of that don't really have a leg to stand on. But then
at first, it looked like it could have been that, but
at first, yes, in the moment. But then Michael also, I think he responded to me too at some point. Maybe not, but I just saw him very mad on Twitter.
Also, I don't think that constitutes getting robbed. That they called a foul so you wouldn't get the tip in if it were to have counted. And then they looked at it and, in my opinion, correctly decided to overturn the foul call.
Yeah,
correct. Never a foul. Never, ever a foul, especially not in the last 30 seconds, as you like to say, Jack. In no league ever is that ever even close to being a foul. It's not. You took a fadeaway on a small guy and you fell down. That's what happened.
The one to me, and I included this in my post-game stories and my here's what stood out from the game piece. That time evaporated awfully quickly after the jump ball at half court.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I was talking about, Bobby. That's the rule I thought that's the rule I was saying that got wrong because the time is supposed to start when the Celtics get possession, not on the tip. And so by that definition, the clock, like they did mess up the rules. And that is what I'm saying. The Celtics could technically say, you messed this up. We should have had 0.5 seconds and a chance to win it, which again, the Celtics are still 7.5 games above the Cavs and everybody else. It's just not worth their time to do that. But that is it.
Yeah, I thought there was time to get the timeout.
Oh, we got the chat.
We got one good one. Shouldn't have been in that position regardless.
Precisely.
W. John.
And Tatum acknowledged that afterwards, and so did Jaylen Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Before we move off that, because I think that's a good point and a good thing we should discuss is it's kind of important that these guys are taking accountability for this. We kind of talked about this last night, Jack. I don't know if it was after when we were talking about the article or whatever, but like last year, how many times do we have to hear, we know we messed up, we won't do it again, and then like the next day, the same thing would happen. It was just like a repeat or Groundhog Day of them doing nonsense in the fourth quarter. This year, we talked about this, I think, on the pod that came out yesterday morning, Jack, where it was like, they're the greatest team ever. Because they very rarely lose back-to-back games, never mind back-to-back quarters. Like, it's rare for them not to snap out of a bad stretch, even in the middle of the game. So it happened at a bad time. I think they're going to learn from it. This has been a team that has adopted Joe Mazzulla's, like, day by day, just erase it or build off of things. Like, he's very game by game oriented, and it's rubbed off on this team in a great way. But it's kind of nice to see the way that they handle it in the presser is the main point.
Yeah, I thought Porzingis was the most interesting on that front, where he talked about this being healthy for them, that they internally have this air of invincibility, which is good, but can be dangerous. So to have a reminder like this is nice and can be beneficial moving forward. Now it's all about what you do off of that, and we'll see what happens Thursday night against the Nuggets. But really, I don't mind the idea that they had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter against the shorthanded Cleveland team that didn't have its best player and just kind of got sloppy with the game and took it for granted. And that they got burned for it, I think, as Porzingis said, is not necessarily a bad thing.
I agree. We got some other takes in the chat as well. Terrible Tatum, and this is all
Kind of
Joe's
agree.
fault.
Disagree.
I disagree on both fronts because it's exactly what I said. I'm not saying Tatum wasn't bad. He was bad, right? He had a rough fourth quarter, but I think this is what I said yesterday in the sense of like, people won't give Tatum MVP because they say it's a team thing, but when the Celtics lose, it's all Tatum's fault. Pick one, right? I get that Tatum can have a bad quarter and he didn't shoot the ball well, but I don't think Tatum, and same when I looked at the shots last night, like most of his shots weren't bad shots.
They were not.
The last one,
great
yes,
look late in the fourth quarter.
100%. And of course, Tatum said it after the game himself. He goes, I should have gone quicker there, to the point of, who said it here? It was leaving enough time to get a rebound.
Forsberg was just talking about 19 dribbles. A lot of dribbles.
They needed to go faster. Exactly. Like John said here, they needed to go faster. Old habits. Why did they not call a timeout? And for what it's worth, Joe Mazzulla tried to call a timeout. And should he have tried harder?
I'm going
maybe
to defend Joe when you're done.
Yep. Should he have tried harder to run to the court? Maybe. Should Tatum have even called a timeout? Like somebody said on Twitter? Yeah. I didn't even think of that. Why didn't Tatum call it? So there were absolutely things that Tatum and Joe could have done differently to fix this. But calling it just Joe's fault or just Tatum's fault or just like all that stuff, like I think it's a team. The team lost the game, right? Because if Drew Holiday didn't fall asleep on a Dean Wade 3, maybe they weren't in that position. If Kristaps Porzingis didn't fall asleep in transition and leave Dean Wade open at the top of the key, maybe they're not in that position. If Jaylen Brown, like all of these things led to that point, and just pinning it on this is Joe, this is Tatum, this is blah blah blah, this. It's not one person. The Celtics lost this game as a team, and I think treating it as anything else is unfair to the people that are getting that pinpoint to blame.
Sure. And I don't like the Joe stuff here. If you want to, I have no problem with people being like, listen, maybe you don't keep Luke Cornett out there without Horford forever. I can see the complaints coming from that. But the complaints that I have seen from this have come from him not calling a timeout. Now, the reason why he did not call timeout is one, he sticks to his game plan, which he never calls timeout at the end. Two, the main reason he didn't call it last night is because Darius Garland was out there and he didn't want the Cavs to be able to take him out of the game. He wanted to attack him, which is what they tried to do, but Tatum took forever to try and do it. So it slowed them down. They didn't get a great shot. That Tatum mid-range fadeaway for the win is like the worst shot of all time because it never goes in.
Which is funny because it's a shot he makes a million other times in every game. He just can't make it.
Yeah,
in
like
spots.
The first couple times I was like, all right, like this is a fine shot. Like it's a comfortable spot from him. You get to your spot and you believe in yourself to win it. But like I've seen enough. Maybe it's somebody else's turn. And I would have liked to see the ball move on that possession. The Celtics had scored their last couple of buckets by the ball moving. Porzingis assisted Holiday. Then Porzingis is the recipient of a dish when he's running the floor after the breakup of the alley-oop. Like, they were not scoring one-on-one at the end of that game. They just weren't. They weren't really scoring at all. But to blame Mazzulla just kind of isn't fair, at least if you're looking at the final play. If you want to be like, listen, they left Cornette and Horford out there too long, like, I get it. But at the same time, like, if you trust your guys, you really want to have to put Porzingis out there in minutes he doesn't have to play when you're trying to gear up for the playoffs? Like, I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah, the reason they lost is that they took their foot off the gas. And so what happened was their first shot defense, which was really good for most of the night and at times excellent, they held them to about 37% shooting for the first 36 minutes of the game. But then what happens when you start to play with your food is the rotations are late. The contests aren't there or they don't matter because they're so slow. And so all of a sudden, Dean Wade goes supernova and he buries all 5 threes he takes in the fourth quarter and puts 20 points on the board. That all of a sudden, when you were getting burned on second chance opportunities, you clean it up. Then that stops happening. And so Dean Wade again swoops in for the game-winning putback dunk. And then offensively, they were cold in the fourth quarter. Tatum, the whole second half, he shot 1 for 12. So it's way more about that than it is Missoula. And with that said, he tried to take a timeout, as Jack noted earlier, with 4.6 seconds left. I find it interesting, not only about the officials, but that no one on the team who was on the floor saw that and was able to say, okay, coach wants a timeout, let's do it. But, nonetheless, that's not how it shook out. And then I also look at the idea of not taking one as Cleveland's going on this run and propelling themselves back in the game. Quite frankly, I want that, especially when the stakes are as low as they were last night. Get these opportunities in adverse situations where you have to figure it out on the fly. So I thought that also was a positive just for getting more cracks at it for the Celtics.
I agree. This game's not going to matter in 2 months. It's just not. It's not going to matter at all in 2 months. Let them try. And the fact that they failed, Porzingis said after the game, could be spun into a good thing at the end of the day, right? Like, they'll learn from this, they'll grow from this, and they've been great at doing just that all season long. They haven't lost 2 games in a row since December. Like,
Yeah, it was like
they've
the
been
first time they
phenomenal
lost.
responding.
It was like they lost to Minnesota and they lost to Philly, and then since then they said, okay, we don't like to lose anymore.
Yeah, so they've been great at responding to that. They've been great at learning from their mistakes, and I think that's good. Bobby, you mentioned, do you want to watch what do you want to watch? The last possessions of the last 5 minutes, the Celtics offense, the defense? What are you looking for? Because we were looking at last night at 2 different things. We looked at Tatum's thing, or Tatum shots, excuse me. We looked at Dean Wade's makes, so we can look at that too. Do you want to look at all the shots in the final 5 minutes? What are you thinking?
So I'm most interested now as we play this out live in looking at some of the Celtics crunch time offense and some of those reps.
Okay. So they took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots in the final 5:27. That's not including the Tatum shot, which there's no video on NBA.com, but we have that as well. So you want to watch those?
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect. All right. Let's do the super cool overlay that I made up, and we'll rock here. All right. Let's see. So these are all the Celtic shots in the last 5:27 of the game. Also, Lucas asking before we get into it, do you agree that JB said about the spacing not being the best and lack of pursuing to find the better match in offense? I didn't see this, Lucas, but Bobby's gone. Bobby will be back briefly.
Oh, no.
It's okay. We can answer this while he's coming back. I didn't see this quote. I just think the Celtics lost a little bit of focus at times. Hello, Bobby. Welcome back. Oh, psych. I'll do it.
And yeah.
Yep. What happened? You accidentally closed the tab. I do that all the time.
We're Bobby 2 kills right now.
Yes, sir. Okay. Let's look at the film. Let's see.
All right.
Okay. So 5:30 left. Tatum gets the ball with Sam Merrill on him. Drives past him, kicks it to the corner.
Not great.
I like the shot.
Was that the wrong pass?
I think that there's a second where he has Cornette.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, we're splitting hairs at that point.
He doesn't see him though. Maybe, and you could say his head needs to be up, and you could also kick it out to Holiday here because Dean Wade helps in. But right here,
right there, bounce pass.
I don't think this is I don't think this is a terrible.
Easy to get through. I think you got to lob that to Cornette if you're going to go for it. I do see the lane up, but I think Okoro gets that. Maybe even Niang.
Yeah, I don't think Horford's a terrible option here either. It's just Horford's not ready for it. Like he's expecting it to go somewhere else, and so he's not staying.
That looks like me catching a ball.
And so by the time he gets to him, he's fumbling. So
even
I'm not gonna.
Horford shoots it is funky, where he's kind of going away. He's going towards the baseline.
So that was just awkward. It is what it is. But tough that they couldn't help kill the run there. Next one, Porzingis gets it. I mean, he was catching those all night. I'm not. This is his bread and butter. Smaller defender, top of the key. Any qualms, Bobby?
No.
Yeah, Sam?
It's a little deep, but it is a shot he makes all the time, so you can't really nitpick too much.
He hits that out. That is literally his range. Derek White here. Back out to Tatum. Over smaller Darius Garland. Again.
That was in rhythm. Can't believe it didn't drop.
Yeah. He made a million of these in the first quarter. Or the first half, I should say.
I think the shots that they got against the Nuggets in that crunch time loss were better,
Yes.
But again, this is more a product of the result versus a bad process.
I agree. Let's keep going.
Now, you could also say Mobley's not in the game. Garland's not a good defender. Like, can they get even better looks? And that I would say probably. But again, it's a regular season game in Cleveland. Like, it's not the end of the world. I do look at it, however, and the reason I want to bring this up, the crunch time offense here, and look through it is especially, I think, right now in the final 3 minutes in general. So not even specifically about last night, but just in general, I think when the Celtics go into more of a one-on-one offense that starts with Tatum initiating from up top or on the wing, that's more an advantage for the defense, because if the Celtics play team ball at the end, when it's whatever the defense does here, we're going to create something favorable off of this approach, then it's nearly impossible to stop them. They're going to get not just quality looks, but really good ones that they're probably going to capitalize on. So when it's Tatum dribble, 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 that's more likely to end in a miss.
I agree.
I
also think
agree.
I said it last night. I also think it is worth noting that I saw somebody on Twitter say something ridiculous has to happen for the Celtics to lose nowadays. And I'm not saying they didn't blow the lead on their own. I'm not saying that like they didn't deserve to lose because they blew the lead. They absolutely deserve to lose because they blew the lead. But in like 9 out of 10 games, the Celtics don't miss every single three they take, and Dean Wade doesn't make every single three he takes, right? Like that is a 1 out of 10. But anyways, we can keep watching this offense. Jaylen Brown top of the key. Drew Holiday comes to set a screen, gets Darius Garland on Jaylen, kicks it back out. Didn't go in. Maybe a little deep. Maybe you want to see them work a little harder, but this is a catch and shoot three. I don't know.
It was weird for me in real time because I was like, I don't know why they went with that shot, but when we watched it back, there was less time left on the shot clock than I remembered. So
there's like 10 seconds right now.
Yeah. They could have worked a bit harder, I guess. It's a tough read the room situation where, hey, we haven't scored in 2 years. Maybe we should do something different.
So
but they did try a lot of different things and nothing worked.
That was my bad, Sam. I went for on the pause again.
It's okay. Okay.
I did too. I also went on the pause.
But as like a couch quarterback, I look at Jaylen come off the screen and want him to go downhill. But at the same time, I think the read here is intended to get the ball to Drew Holiday, and that's why he kind of backs out and then kicks it to him. See, he's not really looking to drive, in my estimation.
Ooh, good
so
call.
I'm not even upset with Jaylen. Like, yes, he had that space. I want Drew Holiday to pump fake this because Darius Garland is jumping before he even starts to shoot the ball.
You and
like he is lost.
like, so do you want him to drive? Because Drew doesn't really do the Dwayne Wade, like I'll jump into you and try and get free throws.
No. That's not what I want. I want him to drive. I want him to just pump up and go around him. And then once he goes around him, Dean Wade will cut off the drive and he'll have Jaylen Brown for a three. Or Jared Allen will go around him and then he'll hit him for three. Just get Darius Garland gone, like the fly off your back.
Keep him in rotation.
Yeah, and then have him running. So I don't hate the shot, but probably could have got a better one. I think that's where we lied there. All right. Next up, Tatum on George Niang, who played pretty good defense. Credit to him. This was aggressive.
Yeah, I didn't love.
Where did the other shots go? Is this only the misses?
No, these are all of their shots. I think maybe
Porzingis Niang shot wasn't on here.
That was before the final 5:27 then, because these are all the shots within the 5. I'm telling you what I clicked.
Because he came in and made that, then missed this.
Because
we didn't see the Tatum follow either. The one that was open in the paint.
Then I don't know.
NBA.com did you dirty. NBA.com is the worst.
Oh, maybe I clicked threes by accident. Hold. Okay, let me reset.
Oh yeah, we have only looked at threes.
I may have only clicked threes. My bad. Hold up. Let's see. All right, let's go to here instead then.
You're talking about the bucket, the 6-footer?
Yeah, like the one with Niang that people were like, he kind of got fouled. There's also the white drive.
I clicked threes.
It's okay.
All right, here we go. I just started from 5:27 again, so we already saw the shot. This is the Horford 3.
Imagine if we didn't notice, we're like, oh, they just settled for threes at the end.
Yeah, I know.
All these guys do is shoot threes.
I mean, we're 2 in, and they are just shooting threes. But then we'll see. I promised I clicked the correct one this time. I promise.
No, you did. That's why it took so long to notice, because there were a few that I knew that they actually went inside and it
Here
didn't
it
work.
is.
See, like here's this one.
This is
Bobby,
a
is that a
tough
foul?
basket. I kind
think
of
it's
don't
foul?
think so. Maybe I'm going to take some heat for that, but
I think it is, but I don't think it's. I'm not going to complain that they didn't call it. But you
I
can't have
thought
your
no
arms out.
foul.
I
Look-
think if you extend your arms past your body into a guy's body, that's a foul. But I don't care that they didn't call it. Like it's not like it's that egregious. Like I think it could have gone either way. He also made it,
Marvin
which
says
is
the team
insane.
got bored last night. It's fair.
Yes, correct. I agree. But Porzingis made the shot, so it didn't matter if it was a foul or not. Where is the correct tab?
it's
Here's
an
Oddly
impressive
enough,
make.
like kind of a good look because that's his bread and butter. Like get the ball at the free throw line, shoot over the smaller guy, and it's like a condensed version of the three that is still a good shot. Here's again, look how sick this is. Bottoms.
Yeah, there probably is a foul right there towards around the time that he faces up Jack.
Mhm.
Could have gone either way. Like no problem with it, regardless.
I think,
They call
yeah,
him
Right
right-
foul,
there,
I
right when
would
he
have
goes
been like,
there.
respect.
Yeah.
The forearm in the face. That's the foul right there. But at some same time, Cavs fans could say, "Oh, Porzingis initiated the contract." Also true. So I'm not gonna
Sure did.
A
complain
lot of
about it.
times the offense is initiating the contact and getting
This may have
This
been the
is-
worst shot of the last 5 minutes.
Sorry, Derek. Yeah, that was not good.
And he's usually excellent in the clutch. So
My
this is
biggest
a
complaint here.
outlier.
of really nice plays in the second half and some in particular some really bad passes.
You got to spin and get this to KP immediately. This has got to go right to KP. You have two guys fooled. You see him coming with you and you feel him on your back. You got to spin. That's got to go to KP right away.
Yep.
Right away. So that's on Derek. But I get it. Like I don't know. He
Once
also
in a while,
does have,
he is going to make a mistake.
he also does have Garland on him. So I guess I get wanting to attack.
Even
that as
if
well.
you go down, it looks to me like he has Tatum as a second option.
That was when we watched this last night, that was my take on the first one, but it was very late when he became the second option.
Yeah, at this point, you're
Allen
not
was
getting
ready.
that pass there.
Yeah. I think it had to be KP.
I wonder if this was an instilled mindset that was like, if you see Darius Garland, shoot no matter what.
And we
Here's
saw
the
this.
Holiday one again.
Both of them could have drove at some point.
Darius Garland primary defender stats must have been crazy in the fourth quarter.
It's true. Did he just like arm check him for respect? Like get the Tatum probably could have gotten the call there, but that's the time he decides not to flop. really,
Yeah, 'cause
Jason,
he's
of
like,
all the
look at
time,
this matchup I have.
of all the times you decide not to flop, when he arm checks you, that is, I mean,
What
this
is the
is
shot?
whatever. Doesn't matter. Sorry, that was really funny to me. Drives, that's a good shot.
That was
I
an
couldn't
open look
believe
in the
that
paint
missed.
that he usually makes.
That was
He is
shocking.
painfully wide open in this, on this. And people are going to say, why didn't you pass the Holiday? And those are the same people who get mad when they take a million threes.
I mean, it's insane to look at that and say bad shot or there was a better option.
Yeah, it's hard to nitpick
Agree.
that one. And I love to nitpick.
That goes
Agreed.
up 10 times out of 10.
Yep. Derek White, another one where we probably should have found Porzingis a little earlier. Phenomenal cut, though.
Dumb.
This
Great
was a
cut.
great play.
Yep. W offense.
No complaints.
And where does it come from? It comes from Porzingis in the little half circle.
Mhm.
It's
And
just-
off-ball activity, more movement.
they just don't go to that in the clutch, and I don't know why.
I don't know. I think they should.
Their cleanest possession of the whole last 5 minutes was from that.
Tatum on Yang. The
Right
Cavs
here, I wish he went the other way,
Meaning what?
yeah,
Like he
to the
spawned
other
right,
side of the
Tatum?
floor, not towards Jared Allen.
I see. Yeah, you're
like-
right. There
so
was
like
no help.
spun all the way
Right.
and gone around. Okay, yeah. I give the Cavs credit.
Even if he goes about it, and again, this is very couch quarterback, but if he faces up, so he doesn't have to even go into a spin move per se, if he rips through and goes by Niang that way, or if he goes into, it's not the highest quality shot, but if he gets an open sidestep fadeaway, then go for it. But again, I really wish that he went downhill towards the other side of the floor.
I think the Cavs did a really good job of staying home here too. Like I think this is a smart read if Allen comes to help, but Allen just doesn't.
I think it's what he
was
wanted
shocked.
first was to draw 2 and get Porzingis an open 3.
Yeah.
As he should. That man does not miss clutch shots except this one.
And the other one.
I texted Jack and I was like, this man does not miss after the Niang
This
tough
was a
make,
great
and
play
then
by
he
Here
misses
is
that.
it.
This was phenomenal.
Goat.
Yep. Amazing.
Clutch Zingas.
Huge bucket. And then that was the last thing. And obviously the Tatum shot.
They
we
won't
watched
show
earlier was it.
They don't want us to see the Tatum shot.
But yeah. So there's the clutch offense. I don't think it was as bad as the results say, but I do think it could have been a lot better. So
That is a fair take in a
that's
reasonable,
what I'm going with.
level-headed thing to say.
Like the quality of shots were pretty good overall. You also are aware that it's Cleveland without Evan Mobley in particular, and so you could get even better looks on a few of those possessions.
The defense as well. Do we want to watch the Cavs? You want to watch their clutch defense?
Sure. I think the overall takeaway that we're going to see here is a team that, treated this like a game in March when they have a commanding lead over not just the rest of the East, but the rest of the NBA.
Before we watch their clutch defense, I want to make a point that Sam and I watched on the show last night. I wrote about it for Celtics blog today, and it's not out yet. But also, for what it's worth, Timo, he got the most fourth quarter shots. I don't think this was a in the clutch. Like, yes, Tatum got the most. I'm sorry, let me rephrase. KP got the most clutch shots, tied with Tatum. Like, he got 3, Tatum got 3, Drew Holiday got
good.
2, Derek White got 1. So I don't think this was a Tatum hogged the ball in the clutch situation. You could argue maybe for the fourth quarter, Tatum needed to spread it around a little bit more. But in the clutch, they did spread the ball out and they gave everybody looks except for JB, who didn't take a shot in the fourth quarter.
What I will say is I don't think that he got a lot of touches. He did get shots, but it wasn't like that one possession with the Holiday cut. They didn't do that enough. And I think that might be what he's trying to say.
Sure. That's fine. But as far as the Cavs defense, sorry, I almost cut you out again, Bobby. The way the progression was for the Cavs threes that we discovered last night was the opposite of what I thought. What I thought was the Celtics sagged off a few times, and then the Cavs started making the tough ones. The Cavs made the tough ones first, and then the Celtics sagged off. That is what happened with the threes. So these are all of the Cavs fourth quarter threes. Then we can watch the Cavs fourth quarter offense
torture
in general. Like, Luke Cornett is in his mouth on that play, and he just drills it over him anyways. Same thing here. Luke Cornett right there. Doesn't matter. Dean Wade's just deciding to make everything again. Isaac Okoro, a career not great 3-point shooter with Luke Cornett there. Doesn't matter. Who makes it here? This is Okoro. No, this is Niang, I think.
Yep.
Maybe a little late there. Probably a little late there. And then this is where the ball... this is where the Celtics start to get caught ball watching on every play. Drew Holiday, ball watching. See you later. Open 3. Next one, I think, is Porzingis, ball watching in transition.
This was horrible.
Ball watching. Yeah, ball watching in transition.
Was probably at least one of the most egregious.
Mm-hmm. Ball watching in transition. This is Niang in the corner. Porzingis doesn't close out in time. Yep. So it was just an avalanche. It's just an avalanche at that point. And it started with the Cavs just getting hot, and then the Celtics lost focus. That was a crazy that he got the ball there. Jalen probably should have closed out a little further. I don't know. Like I said, there's 1 out of 10 games where Dean Wade makes all of those shots, and this was the one. But
I wouldn't even say out of 10. Take
this
25.
was a career night for Dean Wade. I can't believe Jalen called him D Wade afterwards.
Did he call him D Wade?
Not wrong.
Not wrong. Just surprising considering the caliber of player who has that
Celtics, it creates opportunities for them to get their own misses. Oh, Mobley slips on the play.
I can hear your clip audio, but I couldn't hear you.
Oh, really?
Now
I didn't even know you could hear the audio. Interesting.
You're back.
I had to check for a second to make sure it wasn't coming through my end.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting. It's because this technically it's still sharing, but it shows on the screen. Anyways, here's the final 5 minutes of Cavs shots. We saw this one already. Ball watching. They just got lazy.
Yeah, but I mean, like, look how many times they're slow to contest and to get out there.
Mm-hmm.
And
laziness.
Their first shot defense for the first 36 minutes, like I said earlier, was pretty good, and at times it was excellent. They held them to below 40% from the field. They decided this game was over, and Cleveland caught fire from beyond the arc.
Yep. Yeah,
and I do put more stock into them saying this is something we're going to learn from this year, because it just doesn't feel the same as it did last year. You don't really see, as frustrating as this is, and as much as we've seen the Celtics do this kind of thing in the past, there really hasn't been too much of the, oh, we can't trust them with a lead anymore. Like, I don't know. They've been pretty good with leads this year.
you can't let
like
Wade get this either.
Since the collapse at Madison Square Garden under Ime, they were 72-1 or something. I think Grandy put out the stat today. Maybe it was Justin Turkbaum. I don't remember where I saw it, but they had been very good when they were up by 20 points.
Yeah. Tough. Cavs also, that was not like me picking their makes. That was the Cavs didn't miss a shot in the final 5 minutes. So take that for what it's worth too. Yeah, it's tough. It was a mix of the Celtics missing all of their shots and the Cavs making all theirs. And that is generally how you lose a basketball game. So I guess that makes sense.
So a recipe for disaster.
Not great. Do we miss anything from the Cavs game that you wanted to cover, Bobby?
No, I think we hit on it all.
Sam?
I'm mad because the saddest thing I've ever seen is them giving out bobbleheads of the Kelseys at the Cavs game. But the Celtics,
I didn't get why
down.
you disliked that.
They didn't play for the Cavs. That would be like the Celtics handing out like Julian Edelman bobbleheads. Not even.
No,
it would be
it's got to be someone from.
They're from the area,
or
like
New
they're
England.
they're locals.
I guess, but like
Shaker
I
Heights,
don't know.
Ohio, Sam.
That's Terry Rozier bobbleheads.
That's not the same thing. You got to think like
he's from the area.
And
Terry
Jason Kelce just retired. I think it's more because of that, but Travis did just win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Jason Kelce also just retired.
Yeah, that's relevant, but I don't know. The other one, I don't care for him.
I know, and I don't
care for Travis. Has nothing to do with Taylor Swift. I just think he's a moron.
All right. Also, want to take a look
to do with his vaccine commercials either. I want to be clear. Just thinking about the things that he's connected to.
Also, wanted to take a look at
academic prowess that offends Sam.
Just Denver is also coming off a loss to the Celtics, and for the first time since November 24th, I think it was, Celtics and Nuggets lost on the same day, per Sean Grandy, I believe. Now they'll go into their matchup on Thursday, ready to play each other. Nuggets lost to the Suns last night. Obviously, we just watched the Celtics lost to the Cavs. Nuggets got the best of Boston last time these two teams squared off in what was probably one of the best games of the season in the NBA. And it's a big one. This is the one that I think a lot of the we'll call them Boston radio people are going to be watching.
Yeah,
the
talking heads. The talking heads will be all over it.
Pete's in the house.
Hello, Pete.
How's it going, Pete?
Love Pete.
What I want to see in particular, if this game comes down to crunch time, we can talk about, oh, the process was good. They just didn't get the results. And, oh, hey, they're actually a lot more to like from the Celtics side than the Nuggets, for example, going back to the last time they met. But Denver found ways to win. And if you're going to be a champion, that at some point the excuses ring hollow. And so if it comes down to the last 5 minutes and it's a 1 or 2 possession game, you have to find a way to dig it out, not because of the stakes, but because of the implication. You can only be the team that got right to the doorstep for so long. And so that's what I want to see tomorrow if this game, in fact, comes down to crunch time.
I am eager to see the Celtics get some revenge. I hope they get to Denver ASAP, go for a nice little jog, get acclimated to the altitude, and play seriously tomorrow, please. We all deserve it after what I had to watch from like 9:30 to 10 p.m. last night. Just atrocious basketball. The Celtics should have the biggest chip on their shoulder. I know Denver collapsed too and lost to Phoenix, but they have a responsibility to walk the walk after saying, hey, we're sorry.
It's a big game. This is a big spot for them. Like I said, last night, last time they played against the Nuggets, everyone was paying attention. Everyone was watching. Everyone was like, this could be the finals. It still could very well be the finals. I think that's probably still most people's pick to be the finals. And the Nuggets just scraped one out. Jokic and Jamal Murray made everything. And the Celtics
Another one
made
of those.
nothing.
Everything has to go wrong for the Celtics to lose.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Murray in particular was phenomenal.
Those two were just insane. Respect, Pete. I think you made the right choice.
Good
Shout out
choice,
to Laughing
Pete.
Choir.
Crystal
And
ball.
then Brian
Pete.
saying,
Well played,
"Late. What do you
Pete.
think of? What do you think of Joe's late game management?" I didn't hate it too much. I think letting them, and I also don't think it's fair to judge Joe based on that late game management, because I think his late game management was let them try to figure it out because it's valuable in the long run. So I don't know how much stock you can put into it.
The stakes were low, and I know that the question was beyond just last night. I think his late game management has been pretty good. They've done well in that regard. And look, we go through the film sometimes, and then for articles and whatnot, we do it every time, where they tend to create good shots. There's instances where you could say better, and I wish they were attacking downhill more, for example, or playing more team-oriented basketball, but it generally is that approach, and it generally produces good looks for them.
Yeah, I mean, we just went through the tape, and yesterday was as bad as it gets, and a lot of the looks were at least okay or better. Just they did not go in. I think the Celtics have been much better late in games this year. I don't feel the need to take insurance anytime they have a lead. So it says a lot about the team. Last year, every single time they were up like 15, it's like, okay, open up the betting app, put my $5 on the other team, and protect myself. I might be washed. I didn't do it yesterday, but for the most part, not doing it hasn't hurt me this year. So I'm pretty proud of the growth that they've shown. And I think you really make a good point, Jack, where Mazzulla has talked to the media multiple times, been like, listen, time to get in the lab, experiment, see what we can do. We want to grow from these close games. And yesterday could be a prime example of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, they rode Cornette and Horford for a while, which was interesting. And it's obviously not something you'll see in the fourth quarter of a playoff game. So that's one example of experimenting. And just in general, you know, we've hit on this a bunch throughout the program today. It's valuable to get these reps and to say, go figure it out on the fly. And when the stakes are what they were last night, why not?
Yeah, that's why I'm really looking forward to this Nuggets game. Am I crazy for thinking letting him figure out isn't that valuable? It's not like you
well, it
don't have
is.
timeouts in playoffs. I think it is valuable because you want them, even when you do have the timeouts, you want them to feel comfortable running those plays. And I think them trying to figure it out just builds their knowledge for the game in general.
Exactly. It helps under any circumstance. It becomes, if you can think the game faster, and they've really made it their mission this season to be the smarter team on the floor every time they step out there. They don't want a team like Miami, for example, to be able to muck up the game and overcome the gap in talent. And they have the most talented top six in the league. So if you can think the game faster and be on the same page at both ends of the floor under any situation, then you're going to be able to dictate the terms of play.
Also, even though yesterday was a dumpster fire disaster at the end, I don't know, a half hour before that, the Celtics had watched Cleveland cut the lead to 4, and then they put their foot down and built it back up to 22. Like, they have done a great job of figuring it out on the fly, and I think Mazzulla's let them figure it out mantra has played a part in that. There are many times throughout this season where they have just been like, okay, that's enough of that, leads back to 20, like this. So they have gotten so much better at recovering when things don't go well. It's why I'm not super mad, at least in a broad sense, where I'm like, I think the season's over after yesterday. I'm annoyed. Didn't like it. Didn't like it was on national TV. Didn't like that all these people are going to talk about it now. But I'm not worried. I don't think the Celtics can't play. I just think they had a bad day, and it sucks. And Cleveland had a great day, and that sucks. But it doesn't mean that they can't execute or respond. And I just don't think that is still the case with the Celtics anymore.
Timeouts also don't necessarily equate to this magical elixir. As much as I'm in favor of them and trying to stop a run from avalanching, there's no guarantee it's going to work. There's plenty of teams that religiously call them in those situations. It's not automatic.
Yeah.
The best is when teams have like no timeouts left in the second quarter.
Welcome, Josh. Welcome.
You're going to have to edit that.
I know. That's okay. I wanted to put it on the screen anyways. Okay. Bobby.
I love you put your head down to log, like, okay, this time.
Gotta mark it.
Yeah. Bobby, anything else you want to cover before we get to trivia?
Ready for trivia?
Sweet. Okay.
I mean, I'm coming off the worst loss in the series, and not only the humiliation factor of it, but also it could lead to Sam now tying up the entire thing at 2-2.
Feels like the 2022 finals.
A little bit.
All right. I've decided I'm going beyond. I'm trying to stick in my creative realm. Trying to still give you guys stuff that is not most steals, excuse me, most assists. So, thanks to the great stat muse, we're going to be doing the most field goals attempts in Celtics history, but the player cannot have started. They have to have started fewer than 100 games.
Okay.
So it could be bench players, it could be short-term Celtics. I'm going to let you two decide now. If you pick a player that started over 100 games, am I giving you 0 or am I giving you a second chance? Both of you have to agree. 0.
That's
All
how
right.
it's been. We'll be consistent.
High stakes. So, again, most field goals
Chat's going off.
attempted. Yep, turn the chat off. Most field goals attempted with fewer than 100 starts. I'm going to read you exactly what I typed into StatViews, exactly the prompt they popped up. I typed in most field goal attempts by a Celtics player, but player ever, but less than 100 starts, and they spit out, for example, blank has the most career attempted shots for the Celtics when starting fewer than 100 games with blank attempts. So it's like that is what they're going
I
by.
love it.
Thank you. I tried my best. Let me pull up the the board. It is a 3-1 lead to Sam after his Sam's comeback, Cavs comeback. What was more impressive? You guys get decide.
Damn, I'll never live it down. I played
Incredible.
with my food. I was the Celtics. I got cocky, and Dean Wade cooked me.
All right, Sam, big first guess. What do you got?
I don't think I'm going to win this one. I'll start with Jordan Crawford. Shout out to First to the Floor.
Jordan Crawford.
Steez.
This could also require a little bit of a
Oh, that's not good.
of extra like checking on my end.
Disaster start for me.
So he does fall in the fewer than 100 games started category, correct? In his, I'm just counting his time in Boston. So I'm gonna do this. All right. Bang, 672 for you.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Bobby?
I feel like that's good. Also, I might lose right now, but
Oh no.
the risk reward is so extreme, and I
know who
only
you're
know
gonna
this
guess, I think.
individual as a sixth man, so I don't know how many starts he got in his career as long as he played. John Havlicek.
Let me check.
Oh no, he started games upon games. He was like the MVP of like he carried it over after Russell.
All right, let's mute Sam's mic.
So I'm gonna need Sam to tell me what he wants to do for this. When you go to Havlicek's basketball reference page, they didn't track starts then. So I don't see anything.
Give him another guess.
Okay.
All right,
Okay. So I can't even fact check it. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't see. I don't think it's right, but even if it like maybe it's 99. So I can't.
I know the 6 Men of the Year award is named after Havlicek, which is a very fair way to guess. But I know like he took over as a starter for the back end of his career, and he was like, he's like the all-time leading scorer as a Celtics. There's no way he has not started 100 games.
I don't see it on basketball reference is the only reason. So does Bobby get another guess, Sam? I'll leave it up to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Fair.
All right.
I will go with Jerry Seasting.
That's a good guess.
Jesus. What a See, I didn't know how to spell that.
I thought about that myself.
Sichting, and Sam is comforting me right now.
I see now. Okay. Seasting, field goal attempts in Boston.
A lot.
Bang.
Did he start 100 games?
Sickening.
You better not have.
He did not start 100 games, so this will count. I'm just getting to find the data now. Only started 23 games for the Celtics, actually.
That a boy, Jerry.
Bang, right there.
Yep, that's a good guess.
All right. Sam, to you.
I will guess. It's a tough one. Very tough, very tough, very tough. I have some like fun ideas. I'm not going to burn them just yet. You know what? Oh, I don't want to sell this early. I'm gonna guess Peyton Pritchard.
Okay.
Ooh, I like
Peyton
that.
P. Here we go. It will count because he's not started 100 games. There you go.
Wow.
14.1. You guys
Big
have
boy
officially,
guess.
you guys have officially cracked the Stat Muse page. We'll put it that way. The other two I had to go to Basketball Reference. That one I did not.
Tips my cap to that one.
All right, Bobby, back to you.
We're fighting for our playoff lives here.
Yeah, Sam wins this. He ties two titles to two titles. Two banners. I will say, for our thing that we're planning with the fellows, it would be sick to have more than two people have banners. Like big trivia would be kind of sick.
Big trivia would be epic.
very fire.
That would be fun.
The questions would have to be appropriate for that.
I think this would be appropriate. I mean, there's infinite players you could guess for this.
Yeah.
So I'll have to think broad. I'll have to reach in my bag.
Hell yeah.
I love being host because I can't get embarrassed. It's great.
Trivia Jack.
All right,
House
Bobby.
Jack,
what are we
like
thinking
in
here?
Vegas.
It's true. It's me. What are we thinking?
We got a few options. It's just we need to be measured here. I also had a few reckless guesses in the bag.
World Be Free. This is also wrong. It's literally in the NBA rules that the time starts when the possession is given. So when you catch up, you can hear me respond.
I would not be shocked at the second half of that being true.
I saw it in the NBA rule book that it starts when the team has possession on the tip. And maybe I'm wrong too, but I saw that rule in a rule book.
I think it's very fair.
To you, Bobby. What are we thinking?
I know it's past time to guess. I will. All right. To give myself more time to measure some other options. I know he started a bunch, but there's no way he's at triple digits. I'll go with Sam Hauser.
Alrighty.
Ooh, good pick. Good pick.
He has only started 14 games, so you will be getting points here, which is the most important. Alrighty. Let's see. Hauser. Bang. Safe guess. Safe, fair.
It works.
Keeps you in it. Keeps you in it.
That's all we need right now. We're hitting singles.
Sam? Now, does Sam get cocky
No,
after his Pritchard?
I don't get cocky. I have one that's like a guaranteed I will get points, but I don't know how many points I'm going to get, so I might hold it and think for a minute. I'm not going to get too crazy. I'm not going to, sell too bad.
Lucas, your guess meets the threshold, so it would count, but it's also not as high as you would think, as in terms of
that might be my guess.
Just answering the chat there. Let's hear it. You guys have chats off, right?
I have chat off. I have
good. Okay.
Did he start?
Well, everybody, for those watching on Twitter and YouTube still, we are guessing the most field goals attempted by a Celtics player, but the Celtics player cannot have started 100 games. So they have to have fewer than 100 starts for the Celtics. I just imagine somebody coming in here, looking at the board, seeing Jerry's, Pritchard, Crawford. What are they guessing here? Maybe
I might sell here. I'm going to say Brogdon. I'll be safe. He definitely took a ton of shots last year. It's not a miss of a guess.
Brogdon. Let's take a look here.
Having to look it up isn't the best news for me, but he's definitely averaging like 10 a game for at least 60 games. 0
starts, so you are safe. Just Boston. Let's see here. 732. It's fine.
Yeah, not a bad guess.
Keeps you there. Let's see if Pritchard can carry you. Bobby, to you.
I'm going to take a gamble.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure, I could be misremembering though, that this individual didn't start enough before Rick Pitino traded him. So I'm going with ISO Joe.
Joe Johnson?
Yeah.
Let's see.
He was only here for like half a season.
He got 33 starts, correct. Plus that you get that one attempt
Yeah.
when he came all
Yeah.
the way back.
It was a bucket.
ISO Joe. Let's see. I gotta find him.
Guy spent 2 seasons.
All right. Sorry, Bobby. I don't think you're gonna be too thrilled.
I don't
with
know why I do this to
297.
myself.
I will say, if it's any consolation, you're both still in it.
Yeah.
There are. This shouldn't help either of you. You have picked one singular name off the stat sheet so far.
Hell yeah. Let's get it.
We could go for a long time.
I will guess. Well, yeah, he definitely started a lot towards the end. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. We're here. This is why we play.
Take your
This is
time
why
with
we
it.
play.
I'm gonna guess Eddie House.
Ooh.
Mr. House.
Might be a sell, but actually it's definitely a sell now that I think about it. Because they weren't shooting as many threes and stuff then.
He only started 2 games in Boston, so you get the points.
I have one guess I really want to throw out there, but I'm not certain about the limit.
Alrighty. Bobby, I have some bad news. You got some catching up to do, brother. That is a 1400
That was a
bomb
monster
for
of a
Sam.
guess.
He was not on the board though.
He was on StatMuse. Sorry, I just didn't
Okay.
see him because I just scrolled down. He was on StatMuse. Again, I'm going to say you're both still in it. So, Bobby, you got to reach in that bag here.
Walter McCarty.
It's a good guess.
I gotta go look. I'm sorry.
No.
I know it's a really big
Jack.
giveaway, but I can't help it. I have to go look. I have to go. Oh no. 107 stars.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I don't love Walter right now.
I'm gonna put a DNF.
DNF.
Done. It would have given you 25-37 had he had started 7 fewer games. But
I blame Patino.
yeah. Let me. I think. I think technically. I think
Sam
there's
needs-
technically still a
Sam
chance.
needs
Sam
a
would-
goose egg.
Yeah, I think, and even then it might be close. So Sam, you can play it safe to win, or you can mess around for the sake of content.
Content,
no,
Sam.
sorry.
Content
Come on.
is king.
Winning is content.
A game
I'm gonna
6
guess
would be
Bill.
electric.
Who?
Bill Walton.
Bill Walton.
It's a smart move. I mean, it just puts him on the board.
This was in fact Lucas's chat earlier that I responded to.
I thought his chat was Brogdon. Well, it's not
No.
not the best for me.
437. I think that does in fact secure you the win, but let me do some math and see what Bobby would need.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you if there's I'm not going to say, oh, but there's no players with that. I'm just going to let Bobby guess so we know, but then
Nate Robinson.
Boom. 1 sec, I'm calculating Sam's thing, but I will take that. Sam finished with, is that right? This is the number I got for Sam. Nate Robinson. I do have to go to Basketball Reference. Hold, please. Sorry.
Was
sorry,
Glenn Davis
sorry.
on the list?
That's a good guess.
Yeah, he was like 6th, 7th.
Let's put him in there instead of Nate Robinson. What do we say?
Yeah.
I don't think it matters.
Man, Big Baby's a good guess.
All right, here we go. Nate Robinson. Bang, bang. Let me calculate Bobby's, and then I can
518, right? Not just 51.
Yeah, sorry. Did I type the 8 and then it was gone?
You
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
It must have got like fat thumbed or something.
892. What are you saying? 811. 297 plus 518. All right. This isn't a fair representation of how close the game was, but that was the final score.
If Walter had 7 fewer starts, what's my total?
You'd won.
Oh,
You would have
That's
won.
devastating.
You would have had like 5K.
Can we
Yeah.
can we like play like Family Feud, like try and like just quickly guess
Yeah,
them
spit
without
out.
risk
Spit out.
now?
Yeah, spit it out.
Where is Scott Wedman?
I consider him.
He's like 15th. He had 16.
I was afraid that he started when Bird had like his season where he didn't play enough games, or he like played no games. So I didn't want to mess that up. I also had Kyrie in the back pocket because I don't know if he started 100.
He started too many.
How
I
many
think,
did
'cause he's
Terry
not on this
Rozier
list.
start?
I was about to say, you guys didn't even crack the top 10 of this list. You didn't crack the top 15.
Wow.
Terrazier is 5th. He's 1983.
Oh,
When you were reading the question, he was the first name that came to mind, and then I
Yeah.
just never went with him.
Yeah, Kyrie started. Let's see. Kyrie started 127 games in Boston. Rozier, on the other hand, only started 30.
what about Isaiah? He was over that, but
Isaiah started over 100.
I almost guessed Kyrie on the last guess, and I didn't.
Number
Was
one
there
on-
anyone who we would think of as a starter but wasn't
Kemba.
here long enough to log 100?
Kemba started 99 games,
I considered him. I just figured he would have got there.
but he's not in the top
I didn't
15
think
anyways.
I didn't think he had enough shots.
He-
for
but
me to be
he's-
worth it.
He's barely in the top 15. He's only 1565. The top guy on this list has 2477, and nobody got
Who
him.
is it?
Dana Barros.
I considered him. He was here multiple stints. I figured he got there.
Dana Barros only started 64 games for Boston. Also on the list, Ricky Davis, 2,389. Xavier McDaniel, 2,309. Kelly Olynyk, 2,000 shots.
Oh,
Didn't even consider the clinic.
Kelly Olynyk, 2,000 shots. Tony Allen, 1,800 shots. Al Jefferson is who I thought Sam was going to say. When he was
Big
talking
Al
about
wasn't
Patino.
here long enough to get 100 starts.
it's my
Yeah.
blind spot.
Evan Turner on the list. Marcus Morris on the list. Grant Williams, Gordon Hayward on the list.
Grant.
A lot of
I
that
did
era.
think of Hayward.
Mm.
That was the one I like started laughing, but I was like I don't know if he actually got there or not. So
Yeah. So there you go. I'm glad this one was a success.
That was a good question.
good
I,
question.
I want it for the sake of video content that circulates to have, if Walter had 7 fewer starts, Bobby would have won. But that's asking a lot of editor Jack. I just want the people to know.
That's a title for Sam. 4-1 series. 2-2 in banners here on
This is how the
Talkin' Cities.
2022 NBA Finals should have went. They should have finished the job in Game 4 and then coasted in Game 5. They didn't.
Hey, but now we're going back to the Bay. I'm ready to go up 3-2.
Alrighty, Bobby. Any final thoughts?
No, it's a shame that Walter got those 7 unnecessary starts, but it is what it is.
Oh man, yeah. I wanted to check. I was like, let's see, but he wasn't on StatMuse, so it was a dead giveaway whenever I have to go to StatMuse for that. But yeah, those 7 starts. It is funny because there is one season where he started 8 games, so he literally just chilled out. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe to How About Them Celtics. You can see Bobby's work at si.com. He's inside the Celtics over there. Subscribe, like this video. We'd appreciate it, and I'll let Sam take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. We had a good amount of you in here today, so if you're not on YouTube, go to YouTube, subscribe, hit the notification bell, because we are doing these 3 times a week. Jack and I have pods Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. So there's a new one coming out tomorrow. We're here live before every single game, and we do have game recaps the day after. So there's no shortage of Celtic stuff for you. If you subscribe, it's free. Leave a like. Say something nice. Make sure you check out Bobby's work for Inside the Celtics. He's putting in the work. He's there no matter what. Follow him on Twitter at Bobby Kravitsky. He's a good follow. Follow us on Apple and Spotify. The audio, pods, and game recaps will be there. So they'll be right in your inbox. Leave a 5-star review. Email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. We'll be doing the pod later today. So if you have thoughts on yesterday's game, send them along. I'm sure you got something to say. Go ahead. And our socials at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. The Facebook is just the name of the podcast. Again, streams are there and YouTube and on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's at JackSmartNBA. Bobby is again at Bobby Kravitsky, and I'm at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.